Hey, we're back. We've got ourselves this big old Goliath. Okay, well, maybe he's not a Goliath, but he's still pretty big. This is a card storage case or a card storage box from a company that I've actually not sampled anything from before. That's their name right there, Core Cards. Now, there are a lot of different brands out there that sound at least reasonably normal. And by that, I mean they don't have these kind of weird, sort of jumbled, kind of nonsensical names that you may see sometimes. Sometimes, every now and then, we'll get a brand that actually looks like a brand. So, this is Core Cards. I don't believe I've ever seen any of their stuff before. I've heard of other trading card companies out there that have the word core in their name. I am not sure if these are associated with any of the others. The most notable that I know of is I believe it's called Core TCG. They have a trading card store somewhere in the United States. I know they sell over on TCG Player too. I don't know if this is the same company. I'm not associating them, but just kind of letting you know I've heard the Core name thrown around, and it is possible that there's just several companies out there with the same name or a similar name. But yeah, this is a 3 aisle trading card storage bin. I believe this holds reportedly up to 2,400 cards. So we're going to take a look at this. We're going to see if it's worth it and if you should actually go spending your money on it. So first things first, let's go ahead and take a look at our stitching here. Stitching on the front actually looks pretty good. On the top looks good. On the back looks good. And on the bottom, got a double stitch right over here. The stitch looks fine there. What about on the sides? Sides look mostly good. And we got a little bit of a loose stitch right there. Not a loose thread, but a loose stitch. Let me see, is that... Maybe it's just a little bit... It looks like it's threaded in there a little bit lower than the one right next to it, because this is where a little double stitch... Like, this is where they ended the stitch, I believe. And so just when it ended, came in a little bit lower. So it's not a loose thread. I thought it was at first, but it doesn't appear to be. Okay, so that looks actually fine. So the stitching on the outside looks perfectly fine. And of course, as you saw here on the top, this Core Cards thing is actually kind of pressed down into the box itself. So that's actually looking pretty good. Oh, I did notice the double stitching right there as well. Right up there on top. Okay. So overall from that, it looks okay. These stick out a tiny bit, these edges, right over there. So a little bit there, a little bit there, but not too bad at all. Okay, so let's set this thing down, and we're going to go ahead and start testing these magnets. Is there anything in there holding it? No. Magnets are actually fairly strong. Yeah, that's actually pretty good considering what this is. That's actually fairly solid magnets there. How many do we actually have? Can we see? Let me see. Usually I can tell if I sit it up here. I believe there's... Really? Only 4? Are there really only 4 magnets here? Yeah, it looks like there are. Okay. Huh. There's only... Well, let me see. No. Okay, I'm sorry. There are 8 magnets. Okay, I see it now. You've got 1, 2, 3... And then right here, the 1, 3, 4. Okay, so we do have 4 there, and of course 4 on the flap. So we do have a total of 8 magnets. Okay, because I was thinking that feels a little too strong for 4. I thought maybe there would be a total of 6, but it looks like there's actually 8 in there. Okay, so that explains why it's a little bit stronger than that. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up. And wow, look at that blue. That is actually a really nice blue color. Wow, look at that. That actually feels kind of nice. Okay, so you've got that nice soft kind of felt lining there on the inside. Wow, okay, and you can you write your name in there? You could. Anyways, you've got that. We've got a little bundle of goodies here. We're going to set that aside for now. Let's pull this over here to the center, and I'm already noticing something here. Yeah, this, when they've pressed these 2 pieces of cardboard together, it doesn't feel like they really went in there quite right. Let me see if I can angle that up so y'all can see it. Right in there. It's not perfect. Same thing over on this one. They do have some glue in there, but that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to glue these together. This could look prettier. I don't think it's going to have a real hard issue on performance or anything like that, but it just could look a little bit prettier. What about on this side? Do we have the same thing here? A little bit right there. Okay. I'm checking for glue now. Really not a lot of excess glue. I did, like I said, I did see a little bit in here and a little bit there, but it looks pretty good actually. Okay. And what about these? Are these glued down or, oh, okay. These are not actually glued down, but they don't move. Let me see. These aren't glued down, are they? Yeah. Okay. So these aren't glued down, but the way that it's made is basically they put these in here and then they kind of put this bottom part on there second. And so it's kind of laying on top of this. So that's what holds it into place. Okay. So these are not actually glued down, but they are secured down into place. Okay. Excellent. All right. And that blue again looks very, very nice. I'm not seeing any sort of wrinkling or anything like that. Very nice, rich blue color. How wide are these? Where is my micrometer? Let's go ahead and break this out. Let me see if I can get a decent measurement here. About 3. Is that inches? Yeah, I actually moved this over to inches. People have been telling me, you're always doing it in millimeters. Why don't you do it in inches? This is America. And I'm like, because most other places don't really use inches. Most other places around the world tend to go with the metric system. But for the sake here, we'll just say 3 inches. Okay, what about this one? Is this one also 3 inches? This one is a little bit less than 3 inches at 2.97. And this one is right at about 2.99. For those wondering, there you go. 76.4 millimeters. So we got you both there. We got freedom units and we got metric system. So everybody's happy. Okay. And as far as how long these are, people have been asking me about that as well. How long are they? We gotta know. We gotta know. Okay. Okay. Let me grab my giant ruler here. And this one we are going to do in inches. And this is about, and again, this is approximate here, a little bit more than 11 inches long. Yeah, a little bit more than 11 inches long there. As far as how deep they are, let's see. I know you can't see this because I'm right outside my camera trying to get this done. A hair, a little bit under 4 inches deep. According to those numbers, I don't believe top loaders are going to fit in here. What about magnet holders? Should fit in here, though. Let me see. Magnet holders? Hey, look at that. Okay, yeah, we do fit magnet holders in here. Awesome. Okay, the only problem, though, I just noticed, the magnet holder does fit in there this way, but as far as how tall it is, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, the magnet holders are a little too tall. Now, of course, if you leave this open all the time, which I guess technically you could, kind of flip this under like this and kind of somehow set it up like that. It's not the best solution because you can't flip this up to the side here or anything like that. But I guess if you were just somehow going to leave this open all the time, you could just store a bunch of magnet holders in there just like that. But as far as actually closing it, you're not going to be able to close it because the magnet holders are just a little bit too tall. Where are my top loaders? Let me see. Do we fit top loaders in here? No. They do not fit top loaders. A little too small. Oh, weird. Okay, hold on. Really? Okay, I gotta measure this again because I just noticed something. Maybe it's just from the bending, maybe? Hold on. No, that, well, it does. Okay, so yeah, it's from the bending from the looks of it here. Because when I take the top loader and I put it all the way here at the end, it's a very, very tight fit. And you can actually see it warping there. So yeah, they're not, I don't believe this is really meant for that, but you put it here in the center, it does fit in there. But I believe it's just because these are flexible and they're just kind of bowing out a little bit. So, because when I put it here, again, you kind of run into the similar thing there. This bends a little bit. But if you stick it here at the end, it's going to be a very uncomfortable fit and it's going to bend it there. So I'm going to say that this is not meant for top loaders. If you get it and try to put top loaders in there and it works for you, great. But I would say don't buy this with the sole intent of putting in a bunch of top loaders because you're going to run into issues, I can promise you. Yeah, it's just, they're just a little bit too small. Or the aisles, I should say, are a little bit too small there for the top loaders. You may actually run into problems there. So, can't really recommend it for top loaders. But as far as, let me turn this off. As far as regular old cards, let's grab our commander deck. And this is just regular old standard sized cards and standard sized sleeves, single sleeved. I'm just going to stick this right in there. And wow, there's a lot of room there. Look at that. Let me see if I can angle this there. There you go. Look at that. All the way to the back. Yep, you got plenty of room there. Yeah, I can almost stick my finger all the way in there. Again, these do move a bit. If I were to do it over here on this one, yeah, you've definitely got plenty of room if you're going to be doing single-sleeved cards standard size. As far as Yu-Gi-Oh cards, here's our single-sleeved Yu-Gi-Oh card. And as you can see there, plenty of room there in the center. And on this far one over here, also plenty of room over there. So it can definitely do Yu-Gi-Oh cards no problem. If you're going to be doing like unsleeved Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I don't know if I would recommend this because the aisles are so wide. And if you put a couple of stacks of Yu-Gi-Oh cards in here, they'll probably be okay. But if you're going to be moving this case around a lot, they're going to start jumbling around. So you just kind of have to take that into account, especially with the smaller Japanese style cards. But as far as standard cards, they do work just fine. All right, so it looks like the aisles are actually pretty good size. They do fit standard size single-sleeved and double-sleeved cards just fine as far as them being wide enough. And yeah, that's actually pretty darn good there. Now, let's go ahead and move on over to these accessories, which I will need to open this up for again. This is our little pack of accessories. And let's go ahead and crack this open here. It looks like we've got some spacers, some dividers, and some sleeves. So let's pour this out. There we are. Okay. So let's actually get this plastic out of the way. All right, first things first, let's take a look at these spacers. Okay, these are kind of that stiff, sort of spongy sort of stuff. They do have some give, but they are pretty darn stiff. And wow, there's a lot of excess gunk here. They didn't cut these quite right. Okay. But they should be fine as far as spacers. This is about what they look like right here. Let me go ahead and get the deck box here again, and we're going to put them in to this. We're going to see how they look. Let's open this back up here. All right, again, this is just one of them right here. And wow, okay, that's actually going to be a problem here. Hold on. So again, when I put it here in the middle, it's a very tight fit. Hold on. Yeah, it's not supposed to go like this. It's supposed to go sideways. Huh. Let me try over here. Okay, yeah. See, they don't even... you can force it in. Yeah, look at that. It's... Wow, that is a very tight fit. And again, I know these are flexible, but I generally don't like putting a lot of pressure on these boxes because over time they can warp. And so I would much rather not ask my customer, if I were selling this, I would not want to ask my customer to do that. So these blocks may actually be a little too big. Let me check the very ends here. Okay, for the purposes of testing, I'm going to force this all the way in. Okay, so I was able to get it in, but man, is that tight. That is almost uncomfortably tight. And over here, yeah, see, I wouldn't even want to put them in the middle. Look at this. Look at how far that aisle is stretching. And again, I know this isn't the best look for you. Let me try and get you a better one. There we are. But yeah, look at how far that aisle is bending there. I do not like that. That's just, I just don't like that at all. Again, I can force it in there because they do have give. So you can squeeze down on them, but just the way that it's kind of warping that aisle just makes me uncomfortable. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm going to leave that up to you guys if you think that's fine. I generally like for these to be not a perfect fit, but maybe ever so slightly undersized, because I'd much rather have them be undersized than to be way too thick. Because imagine a scenario like this. Say I put it in like this, and now you got to put this one here at about the same spot. Now you're really stretching the hell out of that aisleway right there. Look at that. And then if you got to put it over here, well, now it's just looking kind of insane because now look at the end here. It's bowing out massively. Now, of course, in all likelihood, you probably won't put the spacers exactly there, but I can see a situation where you're putting them all back here, like this. And again, these things do have some flex. But yeah, I don't know if I'm comfortable doing it like that, but I guess it's really up to you. I don't like it. I don't like the solution there as far as their sizing. I mean, I guess technically if you really wanted to, you could try to shave a millimeter or two off of the edges here, and they'll be okay. Because the material itself is fine, because like I said, it does have some give, it does have some flex to it, but just the fact that it puts so much pressure on the box itself, unless you're offering it some sort of counter pressure at the same time, I don't like that. don't like the way it bends that out like that. I'm going to leave that up to you if you guys think it's fine or not. I wouldn't do it myself, but I know some people are probably going to watch this video and think, it's fine. What are you worried about? It's nothing. If that's the way you think, okay, that's cool. I'm not going to argue with you on that. All right, what else we got next here? We got ourselves some dividers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and these are all about the same size. Let's grab just one. These feel like they are slightly thicker. These are not 0.5s. Yeah, these are definitely not 0.5s. I believe these are 0.6 or 7s. Let me grab my micrometer. Again, let's do millimeters. These are 0.7s. Okay, so these are of the thicker variety. So yeah, they definitely feel like it. Nice and flexible. Ooh, they do kind of hold onto their curve there a little bit there. A little easier to see there on the white. But yeah, they do hold onto their curve a bit. Of course, they are plastic, so they should kind of bend right back. Yeah, I think that's okay. I have seen better ones like these. These are a little bit better. They don't really hold onto that curve as much. But that's, again, just me. If you're looking, I mean, most times you're not going to do that to your dividers anyway. So I would say these are probably just fine. I see nothing wrong with them. Perfectly acceptable. What about this last little piece here? We've got some card sleeves. I believe this is 100. If that's incorrect, I will correct it on the screen there. But I believe this is 100. Are these penny sleeves? Okay, yeah, they feel a bit like penny sleeves. Hold on. Are these for standard size? Are these like the inner sleeves? Okay, so they're not quite inner sleeves, but they are some very, very snug fit. It feels like penny sleeves to me. Let me get another one out here. Now this actually has an undersleeve on it. Can I actually get it to go into this? Come on. Yep. Sure does. Okay. So even with an undersleeve, it still fits in here. But it is a very snug fit. And these definitely do feel like penny sleeves to me. These are not your standard card sleeves, which is fine because you're just going to be using them, for the storage box, so they should be okay. And I believe, like I said, you get, it looks like about 100 of them. So yeah, you will be getting 100 decent penny sleeves there. I think they're, these are definitely not associated with cardboard gold. These feel very different. These also are not BCW or even Beckett. I don't know what these feel like. They feel okay. They could be, man, these things are very, very thin. I can feel that. Can I actually, these are 0.1s. Let me see. Well, I'm not even getting a measurement there. That's how thin these things are. Yeah, I'm barely even getting a 0.1 out of it, and that's because I yanked it out of there. Okay. But yeah, these are very, very thin. These are not deck sleeves. These are very much penny sleeves. Which a penny sleeve, I mean, they're not even a penny anymore, but you know what I mean. They're meant just to kind of be just there as your kind of most basic way to protect your card. So these I think are going to be just fine. Nothing wrong with them. So overall, what do I think about the deck box? The deck box itself, I actually like. It feels pretty good. Again, the materials used are pretty good. The craftsmanship, it could be a little bit better, but it's still definitely above average. So I would say that the box itself definitely gets a pass from me. These, again, in my opinion, a little on the big side. I wish they were a little bit smaller, just so it wouldn't, put so much pressure on the box itself. Again, I know people are going to disagree with me on these. I'm just going to leave that up to you if you decide that that's not a big deal and you may actually want to purchase this product. Now, these are not a deal breaker for me. I'll be very clear. I would still, at this point, recommend this box. But the downside would be, well, you're getting these, but they may not be the right size you need. So I'll put that out there. And these, again, just your very basic dividers. Nothing wrong with them. They fit in here perfectly fine. And these, again, a pack of about 100 penny sleeves, which are perfectly adequate. I see nothing wrong with those either. So overall, I would say this is a buy. I would say it's good. It's very good. You definitely have enough room for your single sleeve standard size cards. You got 3 aisleways here. You have a pretty decent amount of storage. And again, the magnets themselves, if I can go back over here, the magnets themselves are actually pretty good. So yeah, I have no problem recommending this product from, again, what is it? Core Cards is the name of the brand there. So yeah, this is a pretty good product. Just work on those spacers a little bit, guys. And all should be good. Yeah, I can definitely recommend this product. And again, full disclosure, this was sent over to me for free in exchange for a review. So I want to let you guys know about that. Also, there will be an affiliate link down at the description linking to this particular product. And again, if you purchase any products using those affiliate links, I do get a little bit of a kickback, which is very much appreciated. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Core Cards, you got a bit of a winner here. Very, very good job. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. Make sure you all like, subscribe, all the other good YouTuber stuff. And we will see you all next time.